Call the meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 26, 2021 Select Board meeting.
So moved. Second.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next thing is we have some additions to the agenda tonight. Health officer's report on a dog bite. We've also got an appointment to the Howard Legacy
Fund.
trustees and a liquor license renewal. And, oh, here we go. Hang on just a second. Rob's on. Hello, Rob.
Hello, how are you?
Not too bad. You?
Good.
Ooh. What happened there?
Bit of an echo. Okay. Rob, we had gone through, we opened the meeting, we've approved the minutes. We've got additions to the health officer's report, Howard Legacy, what do you want to call it? Trustee and liquor license renewal. As additions. The next up are the warrants.
I'd make a motion to pay warrant number one, starting with payroll in the amount of $14,683.94. Number two, payroll tax in the amount of $5,232.91. Number three, the general fund in the amount of $13,474.16. Number five, the highway fund in the amount of $4,210.79. Number six, the equipment fund in the amount of $5,106.66 for a total of $42,708.46.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and seconded to pay 6 warrant, or excuse me, it says there's 5 warrants here, but number 6 is included, for $42,708.46. Is there any discussion on any one of the warrants? Hearing none. All those in favor of paying check warrants signify by saying aye.
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 4-0. All right, the next thing we have,
Can I just interrupt and ask if anybody has 2 devices on? Right next, there's a lot of echo.
this is weird. Let's try this. I just muted Rob's feed and it's still going, so I'm gonna unmute him again. Or ask him to unmute. Let's see if we still got it. No. All right, this is going to get annoying real fast. Why don't we off and everybody sign back in, if that clears it out. I'll end it and then everybody call back in.
Okay.
Okay, we're back on. We're back recording. So we've completed the warrants. Your report, Steve, go ahead.
The last couple of storms have been more of a nuisance than anything else. Last week, we did lose truck 1 again during the second small storm for a frozen idler pulley that took out a couple serpentine belts, but that is up and running. It was up and running for today. An update on our sign question in regards to Sugar Maple Village Drive. I spoke with Mark Pickering. He got back to me with an answer, and this is the agency's recommendation that the town purchase the sign. So it's a high-intensity, prismatic, reflective sign that we currently use in town. Install it with the proper breakaway post and bracket. Placement of the sign would be at least 10 feet off the blacktop, so it's out of the state right-of-way. And then the town would bill the residents for the material and the labor to install the sign. I have the material cost in front of me. The board would just have to discuss what we would want to come up with for a labor charge. The quote for the sign plus hardware is $169.31.
So
You
moved.
won't be able to set it this winter, will you?
No,
Because the ground's froze, so you can't put the post in.
correct.
So the question I would have as far as that goes is, do we do this ourselves and send them the bill, or do we give them the opportunity to research their own? And just
Well,
a
I
general
think we'll give
question.
them a chance to research their own. And
I'm looking at it at $169. Buy the material, put it in, tell them to not contact us if
You
it
want
gets
me to
knocked
do it,
over or whatever. Keep it out of the right of way of the state
all
and
right,
be done with it, is what a motion I would make.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rob, I don't know if you heard that, or Rob, would you
Yeah.
go ahead with that again?
I would make a motion that the town purchases the material at $169 and we put it in the spring when it thaws out, 10 feet off of the state highway. And after that, we're done. We don't have anything to do with it unless it gets put into a town road.
Well, no, but we should bill them.
We'll bill them or do whatever, but just get it done with.
Yeah,
and-
no, they're going to say, just if you don't bill them, you're taking and giving people that's making money some more money.
All right,
Irvin, it's a one-shot deal. We put it in and we're done. If they run it over with whatever happens, it's done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If
no,
it's
I
fine-
go along with it. If it gets screwed up, it's not our problem.
Exactly.
okay, so we have a motion on the table here to purchase the sign and material, put it up, and then bill the appropriate entity for it, and town just deal with it.
So, second it.
Okay, been moved in second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. I hear everybody saying aye, so,
Hold on a second.
yeah, go ahead, Rob.
One caveat that I would like to have with it is that if this goes on and other people that have private roads want this, it's not a problem, but we're not liable. I want to make sure that we're not liable for the post, the sign, delamination of the lettering, whatever it is, that's on everybody else. It's just a one-time deal.
I go on, and not only that, they should let the state know that if anybody applies for a permit to go off their road and there's going to be one house or 10 houses, that they make sure they put a sign, that whoever applies for the permit puts a sign up.
I think that's a really good addition to either an ordinance or a policy. I think what Rob said makes a lot of sense, and that we should generate a written policy to be on record that this is how we're going to handle these private roads with signs. So everybody gets the same treatment. Town's going to do it, but we're going to send you the bill for it, and it'll be cost in whatever fair labor is to get it done. So we'll generate that. Carla, would you add that to the list of things to do? We'll
Can I
generate
ask
that.
you guys a question?
Go ahead, Helen.
Who are you sending the bill to? I mean, this is not for Richie Carasona. This is for the people that live on that road.
Would be whoever the property owners are, I would assume.
Okay, and if you ask them and they decide that they don't want to pay for the sign, then what, you'll take it back down?
No, we can't. It's
Would-
legally
would do-
required to
do-
be there.
So what happens if they don't want to pay for it?
Helen,
Well,
it's $169 in material.
I'm just saying,
No,
I'm
no,
not just,
no, I understand, but what my point is that in good faith, if they don't want to pay, there's probably not a
Mhm.
lot we can do. And at the same time, as a good token to the people that are paying the taxes, it's not crazy.
they didn't ask for it. I asked for it. Because the E911 guy up in Montpelier or wherever the hell he is, asked me and said that this place needs a road, it needs an official name, and it needs, and if, to make it an official street, it needs a sign.
But it's not up to the town to furnish private signs.
But it's, what are you calling a private road? I mean, there's four
That's
houses.
there's
four
four
on
houses,
there
but
now.
it's not a town road. Town does not maintain that road. That's a
Helen,
private road.
Helen, do you know where I live?
No, not offhand.
Well, if you come to my place is a private road
Mhm.
and there's multiple landowners on it.
Okay,
And we take care of it ourselves, and road signs and everything are our own deal. So it's like,
Okay.
I mean, we want to go through the whole entire town, there's a lot of places like this.
okay. No, I'm just wondering, because they didn't ask for it. It was me that asked for it, and I don't know if they're gonna want to pay for it or not. But you guys, you will make your decisions and do what you want to do, and I will, and that's good.
okay.
But why should I pay to put the money out of my taxes to put that sign up just to benefit somebody else?
It doesn't benefit just somebody else, it benefits the town. If E911 can't find somebody, then that's a bad thing.
Well, I think what we're saying here is we're going to advance them the sign, and we're going to ask them to pay for it.
Okay,
If they don't pay for it, then, I mean, yeah, we could go through small claims and all of that stuff to try and recover it, but we're going to spend 10 times more than what it's worth than to just have the sign.
right.
So we'll
Okay.
make the effort to get them to pay for it, and then we'll generate a policy on how this is going to work.
Okay,
Can I just ask, is it, I mean,
Yeah, but my
legally, do they
idea,
have
if
to
they
have a sign?
if they don't want to pay for it, then we'll make an ordinance that's mandatory for anybody's private road, that they have to put their own sign up.
Okay, that's definitely an option. It's definitely an option, but not in this particular point.
Not in
because
this case, no.
Is
But,
it legally mandated by the state of Vermont that they have to have a sign?
If there's more than
Yeah, but
three
they're
people.
also on Route 30. Then tell state of Vermont, put it up.
Well, I think we resolved this, at least
Yeah, we
supposed
resolved
to
this.
resolve this
definitely.
one. But what we need to do is figure out how we're going to deal with this in the future. And if it means making an ordinance that says, you have more than 3 people on a road, you're going to have to pay for the sign. Or it's got to be up there in a certain amount of time, whatever, we'll have to go from there. Okay, so all those in favor of Rob's motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I hear no opposed, since that's all of us. Okay, so the sign issue is taken care of. Steve, is there anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Okay. There is a clerk's report. It's in your packet for counter money. I'm looking for the treasurer's thing right now. All right, treasurer's report. Let's Let's see, in the municipal investment fund, $846,741.51. And the municipal checking account is $28,492.70. All right, under correspondence, we have the health officer's report, and that's in your packets. Basically, what it is dog bite took place, looks like it may have taken place on Deer Valley Road, maybe?
Yeah, Deer Valley Road.
All right, it looks like that the health officer is in the process of working this actively. It doesn't show a conclusion yet, but people have been contacted. So we'll see what happens when he's asked that the constable follow up by the looks of the written report. Okay. Let's see, the next thing we have, COVID update under old business. The biggest thing is going on is the vaccines. Apparently today, the federal government contracted with another pharmacy, Walgreens. They're going to provide, independent of other operations or even the state, doses of medication, and they're working on trying to coordinate between the state and the Fed and these independent pharmacies that the Fed set up to ensure that the doses don't get wasted and there aren't double booking things. It sounded to me in listening to it today like a mess, but that's what they're working through. They also got more doses in, and they announced that they announced today that Grace Cottage was going to be doing this public appointments for the state.
Not for teachers, though.
What's that?
Not for teachers, though.
No, not for teachers. I don't understand their entire plan. I listened to it for a half an hour today, and I've been following this stuff almost daily since this thing started, and I couldn't understand the way that they were thinking and how that they were distributing this stuff. But they've got their plan and they're running with it. Pre-town meeting. Pre-town meeting is set for the 17th and 18th. You should have all gotten your town reports by now. They're a little bit ahead of time, but the thinking was that the way things were changing and the way dates kept moving around, that getting them out early, getting them out to people to have on hand, and since we're going virtual with pre-town meeting on a 2-night basis, it would be better that people had the information to be able to ask the questions. They won't be able to affect the outcomes of the ballot. The ballot's going to be set, probably is now. They'll find some information or justifications, at least answer questions from us about where things set in the budget, etc. And hopefully we never have to do this again.
Yeah. Hey, I got one question.
Yep.
Did they do away with the town agent?
Yes.
All right. No, because I was going to say that was one thing I noticed in New Orleans, there was no town agent anymore.
Yeah, they did away with that, and they also changed the grand juror from being elected to appointed by the select board. So that changed. There's a little bit more that I have for you, but I'd rather discuss it with you in the, it has to do with personnel. And we'll carry that on in the executive session a little bit later.
Yeah, no, that's just something that I had noticed was missing, that's all.
Okay, so we got a request, the Howard legacy. Apparently, the request to appoint a new person to replace Alice Gauch?
So,
Gauch?
but are we taking
No.
this out of order to do are we gonna do the article assignments?
I don't have an article assignment here. What do you mean?
Oh, you didn't have on the,
Oh,
pre-town meeting
addressing
update
article assignment?
yes.
Is that the one where there was one number off?
No, this was, I believe, I thought we discussed going over the articles and to see which of the select board members were going to
Oh,
speak to
yeah,
them since the meeting is next week.
that's right. Okay, well, I guess we'll do that. Get that out of the way. In your packets, the articles are published. And let's see. Since it's going to be virtual, we'll still have the moderator like we've had in other meetings. And he'll be given a list of who's going to speak to each one of these articles. The first one that really needs speaking to is the one to see if the town will authorize the selectmen to set the tax rate. Borrow monies as anticipated for taxes. The next one, number 6, is to see if the town will authorize the property tax collector, just the standard ones. Let's see. Trying to find, well, here's the article about the Western Star purchase of the truck using surplus funds. That one, Steve, you can take care of, right?
Yes,
Okay. $20,000 for law enforcement. This is the standard one that's been there before.
Right.
Mhm.
Herb, do you want to talk about that one?
No, we did, but I don't know what you're gonna do as far as, usually at town meeting, when we had a regular meeting, you had people speak on it, but
Yeah.
it's just not gonna happen this time.
Yeah, well, no, all they want to do is find out where we were with what decisions we made, I think. And as far
all
as
right.
$20,000 goes, stable from last year, and we spent like $17,000 last year out of that budget. So if you don't mind taking care of that one.
No, just
It's only
long
if
as you don't-
anybody asks.
if anybody asks, just we're not gonna go over the $20,000.
Yeah, pretty much. $50,000 through taxation for the repair of the Stone Arch Bridge. That one is somebody from the Historical Society, I think, is going to have to deal with that. Is that what they've done before?
That's what usually they explain what it's about.
Okay, so we'll push that one off to them. The library, go ahead.
Charlie Marchant, I think he's the president of the Historic Society, and he probably knows more about it, or as much about it as some of the others.
Okay. Well, then we'll hand that off to Charlie to deal with. The library, they're on their own with that, except for that $478. I can speak to that from the select board's perspective on that particular one. Fire departments, Glenn Beatty will be on the call, so he could talk about that if anybody asks. The old cemetery, $1,800, that's Charlie as well, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty basic one too.
$14,990 for social services. And then there are 2 other special ones, one for that group out of 7.
Brattleboro.
Yeah, and the other one is Grace Cottage for $790. I think they asked for $1,000 and they cut them back to $790.
Seven would like to sign on and speak on behalf of the.
That's a new one this year.
Yeah, it
They
is.
They hadn't been asking, because we furnished them with the sewer and everything.
Yeah. No, they asked, and the only way we could do it was form it into an article, because,
Yeah, I know, I realize that.
and then, of course, the standard 2 on the bottom. So I guess the only ones that we may have to discuss is authorizing of the property tax collector, and if there were any questions that come up in forming the budget.
Do you want to also address when the moderator reads off the salaries for the elected officials?
Yes, that was the one that I wanted to talk about in a little bit of, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
From our conversations about the town clerk's position, when we were doing the budget review and holding the salary as high as we did, my understanding of it was that we were talking about having that budget held that high for somebody that was going to put in a full-time job there, meaning 35 to 40 hours a week. And honestly, I think that needs to be expressed if it's brought up, because that's a substantial amount of money to be filling a position that is technically part-time right now. If we're paying $28,000 and whatever benefits, or if we're paying 28 hours and we're spending that kind of money, I think we need to have more, and I think this was the basis of our discussions, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we were going to make this a point that amount was for a full-time 35, 40-hour position.
At least a 35.
Okay.
And more like
And you
40.
can express that as a hope with the future town clerk.
Well, I
but we
think
can't demand it.
I think what we can do is simply say that in these public meetings, we anticipated a new clerk would serve a full-time job of 40 hours a week in office, or 35, however you want me to say it, or however whoever wants to cover this says it. And
But that was 5 days a week, right?
5 days a week. She or he, whoever was elected to the position,
Right.
could pick the days if they wanted to work a Saturday or whatever, but during the week, it's 5 days a week. And you guys tell me, 35 or 40 hours?
40.
40. There's one for 40. 40. Okay, so we got 2 for 40.
40's all right with me.
Okay, so we got 4 for 40. So we're gonna, that's what
5 8-hour days.
I'd like to express, because, well, 28 hours has been the norm for a long time. I think moving forward, we need to be more available, especially when we're talking keeping it fully funded.
Because I know for a while the former town clerk went in on Saturday mornings, but I'm not saying that's got to happen.
No, I don't think we can dictate her or his, whichever's actual schedule, but we can ask them to put in the 40 hours, and next year, if they haven't put in the 40 hours, we can cut the budget in kind, since they're elected every year.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Okay, so we're all in agreement there, that we were looking at 40 hours for that kind of money when we approved it. Okay, did that answer all the questions, Carolyn?
I believe so.
All
Just-
right.
Yep, and I'll contact I'll contact the Historical Society to let them know that if it comes up, then they would be probably asked to speak in the library. Okay.
All right, so
Oh, what about Grace Cottage? Do we want to ask someone from Grace Cottage to speak about
They're
what
gonna-
they're asking for?
they're going to
Yep.
have to.
Okay.
We don't have any idea. If they want the voters to say yes to that one, they're going to have to. Okay. Any other questions about that? All right. Moving on, we'll go to the Howard Legacy appointment. We got an email from, what's her name?
Eileen Fahey.
Yeah, Eileen Fahey, there you go. And she wants the position filled for the 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 3 weeks until town meeting. And then for us to fill it again if we have to reappoint these people by year, and I think we do. The person that she's proposed is, it's either Elin Meyer or Elaine. She spelled it two
Elaine
different
Meyer.
ways. Elaine Meyer, okay. She spelled it 2 different ways on the paperwork.
Oh.
I don't
Well,
know.
I think that's who it is anyway.
Well, I think it is. I think she just had a typo there on the first part.
Oh.
Does anybody have any comment about Elaine Meyer? Or have any thoughts?
Well, she's lived there a long time.
No opposition to it?
Fahey.
No opposition to it then?
No,
Okay.
not for me.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion then to appoint Elaine Meyer to the Howard Legacy Trust.
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further comment? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carla, would you get a letter out to Eileen and Mrs. Meyer?
Absolutely.
All righty. Next up, liquor license. So make a motion that we suspend the select board meeting to bring the liquor control board for town and open a session for that.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, so we have a liquor license for, I think it's the papers, right? This place up in West Townsend here for first class restaurant bar license and to sell malt beverage and Venus beverage and an outside permit, consumption permit. Does anybody have any input or comment about this, the Townsend Country Store in West Townsend? Has there been any problems?
As far as I
Anybody?
know, there's never been any problems with it.
No problems or issues, complaints that we've heard?
No.
No?
Okay. Anybody have anything that would cause us to refuse this?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Nope.
Then I'd entertain a motion to grant the first class license to Townsend Country Store for a restaurant bar license.
No, it goes under something else. It's not West Townsend Country Store. Something
Uh,
project.
River
I
Community
think.
Project.
River Community, yeah, okay, you're right, or West River Community Project doing business. as.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we'll try that again. I'd entertain a motion for approval of the liquor license for the West River Community Project and Company doing business as West Townsend Country Store.
So move.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I hear no opposed, that's all of us, so. So I'd make a motion to close the liquor control board.
So move.
Second.
And resume the select board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. That covers all of the things that we had extra. Now, I entertain a motion to move into executive session to discuss personnel issues under 1 VSA 313A3.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Rich, I don't know if there will be. I'll ask you to wait in the waiting room,
Yeah,
and we'll move into this session, and we'll be back out relatively soon.
okay.
Let's see. Okay, we've emerged from executive session. I would make a motion to, I'll put it this way, there is no resolution based on our executive session discussions. If that is acceptable to all the board members, I make a motion to accept that.
Yeah, then just ask for a vote.
Yeah,
Second.
Seconded. All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. So, as you can see, as you've heard, there's no resolution to our discussions, personnel issues. Is there any other business to be brought forward today? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 See you on the 23rd at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Sherwood.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Wow.
Thank you, Cheryl.